everyone. Zak Young here. With the Ontario election just a few months away, I wanted to take some time to speak about education and the state of the education public school system in Ontario. So, as far as the Liberals, NDP, and Conservatives are concerned, there's sort of an agreement, unanimous consent amongst the major political parties in Ontario. And I'm not sure whether or not that reflects a consent amongst the citizens of Ontario. It may not. Actually, I or nobody's in a position to know that. That's except perhaps God, if he exists. So, the Libertarian Party of Canada's position on education is quite different from the bipartisan consensus of Liberals and Conservatives and Democrats, which is that the school system must continue to expand, that no competition, no true competition be allowed for the school system. You can homeschool and you can private school, but first you have to pay for the public school system, which obviously makes it very difficult for your average Ontarian to choose something other than a public school. And I guess we can't talk about this without bringing up quality. So what is the quality of the Ontario public school system with regards to the public school systems around the world, with regards to private schools? I don't know. I went through the Ontario public school system myself. And I wasn't very impressed. I think that the whole model is outdated. You have far too little focus on individual creative thought, innovation, real critical analysis. I think the whole test system with studying and exams, it's somewhat pointless. And I think that there's got to be better ways to educate people than the public school system. And I think that the problem here is you have government monopoly provision of a service, education. So, with the caveat that I mentioned before. And if you look at, the percentage of parents who enroll their children in public schools, you see, it really is, as far as market share is concerned, it really is a monopoly. And I think people that homeschool, are very brave. I think that that's a challenge, and it can be a good idea. So one of the problems too, with regards to private schools, is that their curriculum is dictated by the public school system. So in reality, they're not private schools at all. They're simply public schools with different caretakers, different teachers. But if the curriculum's the same, so the libertarian idea is that instead of having a government monopoly, instead of having schools paid for by taxes, that you would just have a market in schools, and parents could pay to send their children to a school. And so there's several advantages to this. One is you'll have competition working to improve quality. So entrepreneurs seeking profit will innovate. They will attempt different things in different schools, different teaching methods. Maybe they'll try a phonetic approach to English, or a whole language approach. Or I'm not an expert in grammar. I don't. Or any number of things could be tried, right? You could have maybe one school where they do weighted grading, another where they use standardized tests, another where they don't even have tests, and then parents can choose between these schools based on their own philosophies, based on reviews, word of mouth. And I think instead of trying to force our entire country to follow some sort of monolithic standardized model, the decentralized market approach is best. So obviously this is a gigantic topic, and if you have any feedback, comments, criticisms, I'd love to hear them. Certainly your input. If there's any factual inaccuracies and anything I've said, please point them out so we can review that. And thank you very much for listening to my video. I hope to hear from you.